Hello, Virgo. I love Virgos. I just love Virgos. I don't know that I've ever met a Virgo I didn't love. And that might have something to do with my rising sign being Virgo, but I definitely look forward to doing Virgo readings. This is a collective message for Virgo. What messages does Virgo need to hear right now? Anyone who is listening, I hope that this message finds you well and assists you in, that's too many cards, in any insight and guidance that you need at this time in your life. So 2 cards still want to come out, so we're going to go ahead and take those this time. And we've got pleasure. Yes, and this was coming out really strong when I was doing the pre-shuffle. The message that came through was like a realization around what brings you joy. And I feel like, I mean, you can see the butterflies representing transformation. You can see that her arms are back and her chest is forward. So that's kind of like an opening, her heart being opened. In a lot of the tarot cards, you'll see a lot of times people with arms crossed across their chest when it's in a challenging position or challenging message of them protecting themselves, being closed off. This is the exact opposite. It's like being completely open. The word I'm getting is surrendering to what brings you joy. And this card is a number 18. And that can be, it breaks down to a 9, and that can be about like something that feels rewarding or satisfying. So pleasure is the first card out. And then we have wisdom, waiting give it 6, and it's a 22. And this reminds me a little bit of the Page of Swords. This is breaks down to a 4, and that can be about stability. And there's a sense of like kind of a balance here and getting to know, and that's been a big theme, is getting to know yourself better. Let's go ahead and pull from, so that was the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And then now we're going to pull from the Starseed Oracle. And then we'll go ahead and read those messages for these cards, okay? So let's get another card for Virgo. The collective, what message do they need to hear at this time? Forge, don't follow. Okay, Virgo, so my camera decided to fall over. I'm not sure what that was about, but the card that you got was Forge, don't follow. And this card is all about like paving a path for others. It's like you're not having someone to show you the way, because you're creating a new way of doing something. The saying says, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. So there is some type of, lack of guidance that you might be feeling right now. That can feel a little bit lost. I mean, that is a feeling that can feel a little bit lost. Like, I don't know where to go from here. There could be some kind of confusion. And from the pre-shuffle message that I'm getting is, it's about following your joy. It's about knowing, like in one of my other decks, a card is called Deep Knowing. It's like when you truly know yourself and you're in tune with your intuition, you don't have to worry about, I mean, you might second guess yourself, but you don't have to worry about that guidance leading you in the wrong way. So let's go ahead and read the message from the books. Okay, so this first one is pleasure. It's number 18. That is a 9. That can be, like I said before, like kind of like a satisfaction Um, and it is called the Waning Gibbous 2. And I like to show that these cards are so pretty. I love to show these cards because I like to get feedback from people to see if they saw anything that was special for them in the card. And this one says pleasure. Are you taking life too intensively or too seriously? The time has come to call in the pleasures of life. Seek lightheartedness at this time. Focus on what would make you happy. Schedule in activities you find pleasurable. I open myself to the pleasures of life. So that can be hard to do if you're not really sure what brings you joy, right? So it is kind of a card of self-discovery and leaning into that. The next one that we have is the Waning Gibbous 6, and this is the card of wisdom. Again, this is a 4 with firm foundation, some kind of stability. And it says, wisdom is more than mere knowledge. There may be something you aren't seeing and need to research more thoroughly. Wisdom is gathered, but it takes time. Learn from your experience. You might wish to ask the opinion of a wise mentor if you are uncertain. I use my knowledge and experience to make wise decisions. And there is kind of a feeling here also of knowing your limitations, not kind of moving into the place of things that are negative pleasures in your life. It's like, okay, what's your definition of the things that bring you joy that have nothing to do with addiction, have nothing to do with kind of that lower vibrational energy? What else is in your life that can bring you joy, that brings you pleasure, that isn't self-harmful, if that makes sense? That's what's coming through. Knowing your limits, knowing if you struggle with, I don't know, being overly flirtatious, then, you may not want to spend time alone with your friend's wife, that kind of stuff. It's like, know what is okay and what's not. I don't know why that's coming through. That might be for someone specific. And then this one is called Forge, Don't Follow. And that is, I'm going to go ahead and read this one too. Let me find it really quick. It says, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And it says, if you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them, they lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who will follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. And the soul inquiry is, how are you being called to forge rather than follow? How can you be the leader you wish you had? And I find it really interesting here is this following your joy into an area of your life, not having a leader to follow, having to depend on yourself and get that wisdom from within, and kind of trusting and leaning on that, and then paving the way. There's a real sense of like a humanitarianism here. what can you go out into the world and do that fulfills you and brings you joy, creates something positive, and not kind of follow the lead of something or someone that has come before you. And there is also kind of a feeling of discovering something in a new way. It's like something that's already there, but you're looking at it in a different kind of way. You've got the King of Swords. I'll show you the cards. King of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So there's a very overthinking energy here. This is all about being in your head, being worried about something that you kind of created in your mind. This could be, this is my card in this deck of kind of being afraid of people seeing you, like stage fright kind of vibe. And the King of Swords is someone who's very articulate and very mental person, intellectual person, very direct and honest in their speech. And so that kind of personality can also be someone who's very much an overthinker and worries about things that don't need to be worried about. It's like, how, if I put this out in the world, how is it going to be perceived? What are people going to think of me? So what's crossing this situation? What is crossing this situation? You've got the Four of Cups. That's all about maybe not seeing something because you're focused on the wrong thing. And to me, especially because she's kind of facing this way, it's like saying you're focused on the wrong stuff here. Like you need to get that mind shift going, follow your joy, follow your heart, get more heart-centered, and don't be afraid to dream is what I'm getting. Don't be afraid to like really explore the, like in your mind's eye, okay, like if this comes to fruition, like how would that make you feel? This thing that you created and put in the world that can help other people, bring some light, bring some joy, and not worry about haters or being criticized or judged, right? The other thing that I noticed about this card too a lot is that you have this bird here in the back that is holding the umbrella and keeping you kind of dry from the rain. And what that tells me is that you are protected from things getting to where what you're worried about. It's like you're worried about stuff that's not going to happen because you're completely protected. It's time to make a wish. It's time to daydream. It's time to get creative and come up with some unique ways of approaching this situation. What is the advice here? Two of Wands flipped over in my hand, which can be about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And then, oh my gosh, you got the masculine and feminine King of Swords in this reading. So the masculine version, to me, the King of Swords here, this feminine version in this deck, to me is all about healing this, a deep part of yourself. This might be some insecurities or self-doubt that have been with you for a long time. I'm getting imposter syndrome here. And so the advice is stepping into a little bit more of a masculine King of Swords energy. Seeing, it's almost like having tunnel vision in a way. It's like not letting all of the distractions and the noise pull you away from the point. And the point being that whatever this is, the point being is follow what brings you joy. That's what I keep getting. But whatever this is, if you can follow your intuition, listen to yourself, not be afraid to forge that path, knowing that you're protected, stop worrying about things that you don't need to worry about, stay focused, then whatever this project is or this passion project is going to really take care of you financially too, is what I'm getting. And then you have the Six of Cups as the outcome. It's, I am getting a sense here with this particular card at this time with this reading is that this is all about you reflecting back on who you truly are, who you are originally, like you're on the soul level. It's like people talk about like what brought you joy when you were a kid. And I got asked that question once. It's like, okay, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, um, reflect back on when you were a child. What brought you joy? What made you laugh? What made you feel carefree? And that's what I'm getting from this card is just kind of looking back fondly on times that brought you joy, that gave you that kind of effortless, um, carefree feeling. Uh, what came up for me was I grew up in Southern California, and we lived right by the beach. And I did a lot of activities that were related to the beach, especially in the summer, of course. And one of them was roller skating. I'm giving away my age. It was way before rollerblades, but roller skating. And I just remember feeling like just so carefree, and it was so much fun. I enjoyed riding my bike. I enjoyed playing flag football with my brother and his friends. There was just so many like outdoor physical activities, being in the sunshine, being near the ocean, that just really brought me joy, where I felt very free and content in my life at that time. So you um, might tap into that where you're reminiscing and reflecting, and that's what kind of gives you the little the nudge you need to move in the correct direction. Okay. And then we do have the Hermit showing up. That's you showing up in your reading. That means you got this. You're in control, you're in power. You can move away from this energy now because it's smooth sailing from here. You're discovering, right? Because the Hermit is seeking the star, is seeking that hope, that wish fulfillment. And they're going within to find that, which is kind of the overall theme here, right? So trusting that once you do that, that you will get the answers that you need. This is all about peace and joy within yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify. Why is the King of Swords and the Nine of Swords here together as the situation? We've got the Moon. So I feel like there is some really deep, there's this reflection here on your childhood. This here is stemming from, the word that came to mind is stemming from an event. Something that happened when people were paying attention to you that made you feel insecure. Something that was said or done, or a situation that you were put in when you were much younger, causes anxiety when you think of people paying attention to you, listening to your words, being on stage. Something that made you withdraw and not feel like you could be open and out there like that. There's a real sense of embarrassment. It's like, I don't want to be embarrassed. And this is a really deep emotional thing for you. So you might need to spend some time kind of exploring that, asking yourself questions about that. And then when I have the Moon and the Page of Pentacles, and I have to be careful with these cards because sometimes there's stuff on here that I can't show on YouTube, but I think these two are good. We've got the Moon and the Page of Pentacles together. So it's like through this deep emotional place, pulling out something that is almost like I almost feel like it's you presenting yourself with a piece of information after kind of going deep emotionally with yourself. It's like that's the nugget, that's the piece that is like, oh. And then you can kind of dissect that and say, well, wait a minute, if that's where it's stemming from, you know, is that true? You know, and maybe look at that situation from a different perspective, because at the time when it kind of shook you up, you're looking at it from that age and what you've learned and the knowledge you had up to that point. Now you've grown, you've matured, you're much older, looking at that situation from a new perspective and possibly healing from it. And then I keep getting this Queen of Pentacles. Yes, there is something here that is it's almost like these two cards together is saying, like, you don't have to worry, because there's this protection is always going to keep you stable. It's always going to keep you in a good light, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. And then you got the Six of Wands on the bottom. This is all about kind of going through a difficult situation and coming back from it in a place of being admired and celebrated. So it's like, if you can kind of look into that dark part of yourself that has caused you to have a fear of embarrassment, and look at it head on, face it, instead of like kind of pushing it down, it's going to help you feel and know. It's not just a feeling, it's a knowing that you don't have anything to worry about. Okay, why is this King of Swords here is the advice? You have the Two of Swords. I'm going to pull one more for that one, because the Two of Swords here, you have the King of Swords, and he is, you know, kind of focused on something. He's very focused. And then the Two of Swords here, she's blindfolded. So it's almost like together, it's like being focused. And because the two swords are out like that, it's like I said, like that tunnel vision. It's like not letting the things in the peripheral kind of get to you. Like you don't see them at all. I'm going to get one more. Why is the Two of Swords here with the King of Swords? My goodness, these cards want to knock that camera over so bad. So you do have the Ace of Pentacles, which you've got the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. You've got 3 sets of cups here and 3 sets of swords. So talking about like where you are mentally, where you are emotionally, and then how do you bring something into tangibility. And you have yourself, if you can shut out the noise, stay focused, you're going to be able to move in an inspired, passionate way towards this beautiful gift of stability, and something that is, I mean, because this is really a gift from God that is in the tangible world, something that you can touch, something that you have proof of. And I'm getting a sense of like faith here, having faith without seeing this end result, just trusting that that's the direction that you're headed. And then like just following that joy along the way. Okay, and then why is the Six of Cups here? Oh, you've got the Death card. This is perfect together because you have this Six of Cups with the Death card. And what that has to do with is like, if we're talking about reflecting on this situation that maybe kind of traumatized you a little bit, stayed with you, caused you to feel like an imposter, caused you to feel insecure, it's about allowing that idea, that thought, that feeling, this thing you've been carrying around with you to die, to let it go, to let it end, so that you can move into a new way of being. And sixes can be about relief, like feeling relieved. I would be surprised if the Sun card didn't come out, but feeling relieved because it's like this burden is released. I'm going to get one more. Oh, yes. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is all about long-term stability, your legacy. It's like you're moving away from this insecurity. You're moving away from this imposter syndrome, and you're moving into starting to take the steps of what is building your future, building your long-term stability. And then you've got the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and that can be about healing after disappointment, healing after heartache. But there is a really strong feeling of needing to look at that heartache and that disappointment directly in the face and really dive deep into that and see where it comes from in order to release it, so that you can move into your power and move into a place of creating your legacy. It's what we strive for. It's at the end of your life, looking back and being proud of what you've created. Yes, beautiful. I love this reading for you. And it was funny because when I was doing the pre-shuffle, I was like, I know the pleasure card came out once I was on camera, but before I was like going through the cards and shuffling everything. I like to clear the energy and shuffle all the cards between signs. And there was this very strong feeling of just giddiness, like of this joy. So don't take yourself so seriously, maybe. Don't be so overly cautious and overly worried all the time about everything. Okay, so this is from the postcards from Spirit. I love this deck. I like to end my readings with this one. And this one says, live your dreams. Live your dreams. Follow your joy, people. And then here's the front of the card, if you want to take a screenshot of that. And then it says, dearest you, over here there is no mystery for us to unravel. As we know intimately how connected we all are, how the web of creation works, and how spirit is in every aspect of life, from the invisible to the visible. But it's impossible for humans to comprehend the complexities of how things actually work, because the most important threads in the tapestry don't make sense in the dimension you live in. That said, can you feel the importance of these currents of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways? You can't understand with your mind, but you can know with your heart and soul. With your heart and soul, follow that joy. Do not lean on your own understanding is what I'm getting right now. Trust that even though you don't know the how, the what, or the why, we do. We're here. We're looking over you. We're protecting you. Surrender to the mystery and have faith that the unseen world is watching you with loving eyes as spirit weaves your life's mysterious and beautiful tapestry in glorious technicolor. Loving you so much, always. Perfect ending to this reading. Just absolutely beautiful. It's just confirmation. Let this energy go. Follow your joy. Step into your power. Many blessings.